Hi and welcome back to another video from Effective Dashboards. In this video I'll be looking at a new visualization which was added in the latest update to Power BI desktop, and it is called the Smart Narrative. Okay, so the Smart Narrative. So the idea behind this Smart Narrative is that it will provide a narrative or an explanation of what's happening with the data for a specific visualization or for a dashboard as a whole or a report as a whole. So I've opened up here a work management dashboard, and if you're interested in how I built this dashboard, I'll leave a link below. I've got a course explaining how it works. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use it as I would out of the box. I'm not going to make any changes to it. I'm just going to go and I'm going to actually just activate this. So I'm quite excited to see how it works. So the first thing I'm going to do is just bear in mind there's two applications of the Smart Narrative. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use it in the application which is for a specific visualization. So what you can do here is you can actually select a visualization, and with that visualization you can apply the Smart Narrative. So I'm going to right click on the visualization, and it's got this option here called Summarize. I'm just going to click on that. And while it's calculating that, I'm just going to change the background so we can see that. So I'm just going to switch the background on and make it 0% transparent. Okay, so let's go and we can see this. So it's looked at that visualization. I'll just move this off to the side slightly, which is this trend here. So alpha remaining hours, and it's got a trend over the last 30 days. So the remaining backlog hours trend for the last 30 days, or remaining backlog hours last 30 days trend. So that's the name, that is the name of the measure there, that remaining hours last 30 days. So that is important. So how you actually name your measures, if you're going to use this new feature, how you name your measures is important, because you can see here it's actually using that measure name in the narrative there. Trended down, okay, resulting in a 13.11% decrease between Friday the 31st of March, which I'm going to assume is going to be, Friday the 1st of March, and Sunday the 30th. Okay, so that's pretty good. It's telling us there's been a decrease, and it's telling us 13% there. The average value per day between the 1st of March and the 31st of March was 26,000. Okay, and that, again, quite useful. And the remaining hours in backlog has increased in the last 5 days on record. So the last 5 days, it's seen an increase. So that is what it's given us just out of the box. So it's actually really quite useful. It's quite useful. Now, there's a couple of pros and cons with this. The first one that springs to mind is real estate. Okay, where are we going to put this? It's created a new visualization here, and it's just basically created it in the middle of the page. So one option is we could just create that. Let's just remove that. We could just create this. We could select it all, and we could just copy that into a report and then close it again. However, if we want to see it on the page, then we will need to find a place for this to stay. Now, I'm going to create another video with a couple of options that I think might be useful for this, but for just now, it's just a consideration. We need to know where this is going to stay. But some useful information. What I might also suggest is that if that information is something that you think is useful, and it is something that is going to be an indicator and something that somebody can use to drive decisions, then I would put that percentage decrease as on here somewhere. I wouldn't leave it to be in text here. But yeah, for now, that's giving you some good information. Again, the other thing it's giving you is, like I've just mentioned, ideas about what information you might want to put in here as figures. So the percentage decrease would be good. If the percentage increase in the last 5 days, or the increase in the last 5 days is useful, that's good too. I think it is useful to see what's been happening recently, because obviously the more recent, the more likely there's going to be an impact on our business. But that is pretty good as a starting point. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to remove it. In fact, I'm going to undo that. I just want to show you one thing. Now, one thing it hasn't done is it hasn't pulled across the chart name here. Now, that's not a massive problem if you're just looking at one particular option, but what you can do is you can actually add to this, and you can add your own text. So I can actually add in alpha backlog trend, and I can actually format that so I can make it slightly bigger, and I can bold it, and I could even center it if I want. I'll leave it to the left hand side. So you can actually add additional text, and you can add additional measures if you want in here as well, which I'll not cover at the moment. I'm just interested in what it gives you out the box. So that would be one option there. So the next one is, let's just delete this again, and we're just going to add in a visualization. So make sure none of the visualizations you've got on the screen are selected, and I'm just going to add in this smart narrative. So here we can see it's added that in. Let's just update the background so we can see what it's saying. Okay, so remaining backlog hours and 30 days. Okay, so that's reduced. It's got the same information there, but it's got additional information. So as we go down, what it is telling us is the remaining backlog hours in the last 30 days has experienced the longest period of decline between the 11th of March and the 15th of March. Now, the one thing I can see straight away here that I think is perhaps something that they will fix is, if you look at the smart narrative and it's looking at the whole dashboard, it isn't referencing the actual specific visualizations that it's talking about. So these three visualizations here, and this is not necessarily uncommon, they are all displaying a different trend for a different filter. So this is Alpha, this is Bravo, and this is Charlie. They've all got a title, so there is plenty of information there. There's a filter applied to this as well. So there is plenty of information there that this could pick up on, but it's actually just remaining backlog hours of 30 days. So it isn't telling us which visualization this is referring to. Now, we can work it out. That's the top one. This is probably this one here. And I'm sure if we scroll down, we're going to get another one here. Backlog in the last 30 days has gone from, yeah, we can see the peak during its steepest decline. Yeah, so we can see that must be referring to the bottom. So we can go in and we can add in the information here. So it's really a starter for 10. This year it's a starter for 10. It's letting us see, it's giving us some ideas, it's giving us some information. We can add in additional bits. Now, our additional titles. So for example, again, we could put in here Charlie. We could say, and here we could say Bravo. So you get the idea. I don't need to do it all. So you could actually break it up that way. But it would be good to see some sort of narrative that says on the visualization, whatever that visualization is, then yeah, that's information. That's what this is referring to. So let's scroll down and see what else we've got here. Right, at 12,795, production has the highest remaining backlog hours. It was infinitely higher than the others, which had 0. Okay, so we probably would need to do something there because that doesn't quite read well. I mean, from a data point of view, we've got another category called others, and it is 0. But you would think that if something is infinitely higher than another, they might choose not to display it. Production accounted for 51.9% of the remaining hours. No, that's quite good. So that is useful. So another thing that you can do here is you can actually take this value, or take this box here. I want to get rid of this here. I don't know how you get rid of this. It's just annoying me. But you can apply a filter, and it will automatically filter all of the values in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and let's go and look at environmental. We might just want to look at environmental work. So because it's filtering this values here, then it's going to refresh the smart narrative, and it's going to update those values as well. So it's all linked like any other visual. Now if you just select one, I wonder what happens there. So I've got environmental and I've got the CM work orders, and I've only got that for alpha. So okay, so what's happened here is it's left these values in which don't make much sense. So yeah, oh hold on, right, okay, no, it's came back, hasn't done it, it's came back, and actually it's not quite as bad. It's basically telling us that that particular part of the narrative is not valid, which is good because I've selected alpha and I've selected corrective. And here we can see here that all of this is updated for the corrective work orders for environmental. So really, that's quite good. I think that is going to be useful. You can add additional your own visualizations to this as well, which I'm going to cover in another video because I've had a go at it and it's not particularly intuitive from my point of view anyway. And I think we'll probably best covered in another video. So for just now, we've looked at a few features here, how to get up and running with this, how you can use it, and yeah, it's something worth looking at. Real estate's an issue, obviously. We've talked about that before. Where's this actually going to sit in your actual visualization? And I'll cover another video on some options for that. But for just now, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to subscribe and keep up to date with the latest videos I release one more or less every week, then click that subscribe button and click the bell and you get a notification. And all that's left for me to say is thanks for listening, and I'll talk to you in the next video.